So, day two at Jisc Security Conference and Tech Takes, we're talking with Ande, who's the lead service development manager in Jisc. So, good morning. We're talking today about the Cyber Hub, the new launch of the Cyber Hub. So, Ande, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for inviting me along. We've recently launched, I think as most members will know, we've recently launched the Cyber Hub on the 1st of October.
Yeah.
There's a very successful marketing campaign. I think we had about 70% interaction as the emails went out. And on day one, we had about, I think it was 209 unique users looking at our new hub. So incredibly successful.
Yeah.
But just go back a little bit. Well, people are going to wonder why have we relaunched.
Yeah.
We did have a very successful portal, but like all things, it becomes legacy. It doesn't necessarily do all the things we wanted to do. You know, there were efficiencies, both technical oversight efficiencies and financial efficiencies that we could see could be done. So probably at the beginning of this year, we made a decision to basically move to a new platform, a more efficient platform, an easier to manage platform, a cheaper to manage platform, all the good stuff that Jisc stands for. And we had a 6-month project to move ourselves to that platform. This involved a huge amount of collaboration between all the teams, both to make sure the teams were happy with how it was going to look at launch, did it have the right information at launch, and all the good fields for that. And that was really successful. It was a lot of work over 6 months, but it was incredibly successful.
Yeah.
As I say, we launched successfully on the 1st of October, hitting our target date of the 1st of October, which is always good.
Yeah.
We had a month of hypercare in October, just making sure and getting feedback from members and things. And that was all very positive in the main. Couple of tweaks, couple of things we learned from the launch, but generally speaking, positive feedback. And now we're into business as usual. And we already have a list of things we want to improve and enrich.
Yeah.
The hub. The hub is now called the Hub, Cybersecurity Hub. We now have a list already of things we would like to do with the hub, but also we'd like feedback from our members of, I've had a look, it'd be quite handy if it could do this, or can it do this, or can we have a link through to this, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That'd be really useful. And in the community hub meeting yesterday with members, I got some really useful feedback that they quite like a bit of a user guide. Because although we sent out a lot of communication in the run-up to the hub, obviously, as time moves on, new people are going to join the organizations.
Yeah.
They might be asked, you need access to the hub. So if we provide some guidance notes of, click here for this, look here for this, do that. And that's already on the list to do. But it was valuable to get the feedback from members as well about that's a good first step. So we've really taken that on board.
Was there a reason for moving into a Splunk-held platform? What was the thinking behind that?
Yeah, so there was nothing wrong with the portal, but obviously, like all legacy things, like all things that have been around for a while, there's always ways you can seek to improve it. I'd say reduce technical oversight, reduce tech costs, make it easier to manage and improve and develop. And we've taken all those things on board and said, it's going to be quite a bit of work, but it needs to be done.
Yeah.
So we have now fully moved onto the Splunk platform. And that is where it's going to be
quite useful, isn't it, in terms of the dashboards that we have available for customers who utilize that for CSPM and for SOC. So it puts everything in one place, doesn't it?
It does. And while obviously it's dependent on how many services members take from us, there is, in the simplest terms, there are 3 levels, I suppose you could say, where there's the member dashboards where you'll get your membership level of services. And there's already some areas there we want to improve, probably around threat intelligence, bring in some more data there for members to see in real time. If they're a CSTM customer, obviously they can now go direct to their CSTM dashboard information. And if they're a SOC customer, they can go to their SOC.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make it an all-in-one. You only need to worry about going here to get the information. And as I say, that's why we welcome feedback about, it'd be really useful if that was on the page or whatever. So very much looking at getting feedback from members.
And a really useful place for members to see exactly what information they've provided us so we can reflect that back. So in terms of, their service contacts or, how many tickets they have open or that kind of thing. the data behind all of their internal,
very much on the roadmap. Yeah, 100%. And also it allows us to integrate easier with some of the back end things we've got, which will help integrate customer data as well, which will be really useful. Obviously, we now have the automation into Entra, which gives us better, well, not better, but gives us a better flow in security.
Yeah.
And anyone who is asked to be given access to the hub, all they need to do now is basically send a request to their relationship manager. The relationship manager will verify that person for us.
Yeah.
And then it'll go into, still with manual checks, but it's an automated flow to make things easier for everyone.
Yeah.
That you'll be given credentials, you'll be asked to check in, log in, and then you'll have a secure login.
Yeah.
But obviously we just ask customers to bear in mind that data is their secure, obviously real-time data. So if they want someone to have access fine, but bear in mind that person will be able to see what's going on in their security.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose that's part of the process of any of the services that are having data listed within that area, that we're part of that process of checking the contacts, renewing, updating, making sure they're relevant, and that we're reviewing who has access at any given time.
Correct. Yeah. And we have put in an automated re-verification process because we are conscious that we don't want the data, well, we want to minimize any risks to the data. So there is an automated re-verification process actually in place now. But obviously we would ask to make things easier. If members know someone's left or is leaving, obviously just drop a note into Cybersecurity Hub or let the relationship manager know, just say, from this day, this person's leaving, can we make sure access is removed? That'd be really helpful. But hopefully, as it grows, it develops, and we enrich it, and we get feedback from members about these are things we'd like to see. Hopefully, it'll just become a really useful one-stop shop. For all things cyber.
Everything about all the services that they're engaging with that are part of that Jisc package and their membership over and above.
Yeah. So it's good times ahead, but it's like anything in cybersecurity. You launch, and then you're immediately on the right. What we've got to do now? You can't sit on your laurels and go, well, that's it for a year.
Yeah, continuous improvement. Yeah.
Exactly, 100%. Yeah.
So in terms of CSTM and SOC services, once you click into that hub area, you're able to go into that particular service area.
That's a good point.
Whether it be CSTM or SOC, and you can then go in and see real data, live data. You can see things historically over the past sort of 30, 60, 90 days. You can drill down into your alerting, that kind of thing.
Correct. Yeah. And there is controls depending on what services the member has, is what view they'll have in the hub. So obviously, if they haven't got a SOC service at the moment with us, obviously that bit's not going to be visible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there will be access controls in the back end that say this customer has that level of service. So their view is this. And that's just another layer of security, obviously, to prevent any accidental viewing of data. But we've put in all the safeguards. I say Entra is now the basic flow through for access control. We've had really positive feedback over the couple of days from launch. There are a few questions, a few queries, how do we? But you expect that at a launch. But generally speaking, we had a huge amount of positive feedback, and I say 70% interaction. Is exceptionally high for when you're communicating out. And it was really welcoming that people were on board with the idea and wanting to go and have a look at the hub and start making use of it.
And I think for both CSTM and SOC customers who are already utilising their kind of dashboards within Splunk for that service, it's a really nice way of being able to go straight to that page and straight into your areas to see what's going on. It's that useful functionality, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely right. Already the dashboards that we launched for SOC, which was right for launch, but now we've got the hub up and running. We've already looked at it and got, actually, we can already see some improvements to make to that dashboard. And actually make the journey easier to get to the information and remove some of the bits that are almost duplication. So it's a living, breathing process. It's going to be feedback from the likes of yourself and our JLS and DDoS service managers and other things about, this could be a bit more efficient. This could be a few less steps. This could be, we should put something in about this. The guide I mentioned earlier, we need to develop the guide to help people who are sort of newer to the hub to say, if you click here, you can see this, that kind of thing. But yeah, we welcome feedback. But I say we already have quite a list of developments we want to do to enrich and develop the hub.
Yes, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.